You are Locked On Syracuse, your daily podcast on the Syracuse Orange. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
All right, we got a basketball recruiting update, some good news for Syracuse. Let's start off with the big topic, the big point of emphasis, which is Alex Constanza, 6'8", 205-pound forward from Miami, Florida. He is a 2026 Rivals and 24/7 Sports composite 5-star recruit who's ranked anywhere between the 10th and 21st best player in the country in the class of 2026. And he officially visited Syracuse over the weekend. Now, let's play a little game of what we know 100% for certain and what we don't know 100% for certain, okay? Because I saw something circulating out there. I'll point it out on the screen for you. Not yet, but I will point it out. I cannot 100% verify it, all right? Here's what we know, though. 100% it is verified, okay? We know that there is mutual interest between Constanza, the 5-star recruit, and Syracuse basketball. Now, how do we know that? Well, it's simple. If they didn't have any sort of interest in each other, then there wouldn't be an official visit, right? You don't just waste your time on official visits. Now, does that mean that there's quote-unquote still interest? There's most likely still interest, obviously, but there was definitely interest beforehand because of the official visit, right? We also know this 100% for a fact that Alex Constanza, who's currently in the class of 2026, is thinking about reclassifying to 2025. That source is himself. He said it to 24/7 Sports earlier this month. So we know Alex Constanza. There's mutual interest between him and Syracuse. We also know that he may reclassify. Reclassifying is something that happens not all the time in college sports, but it does happen. We saw that work in Syracuse's favor with Demetrius Samuel, the 4-star safety that's committed to Syracuse football in the class of 2025. He was originally in the class of 2026, right? So reclassifying does happen. And in this case with Constanza, it could happen for the class of 2025. This means that, hey, we can dream, right? I can't guarantee this will happen, but Syracuse does have Sadiq White, a 5-star forward, already in the boat for the class of 2025. We know that they are the favorite for Kiyan Anthony, a 4-star guard. Constanza would be terrific. They already have Aaron Womack as well, a 3-star forward. And hey, they could also get guard Tyler Jackson too, right? He's best friends with Kiyan Anthony. It makes sense. So you can dream a little bit, all right? But here is where we kind of have to reel ourselves back in and understand what we know and what we don't know, all right? We do not know if this tweet from @Nick Thomas is accurate. And for those that aren't looking on the screen, he says in the tweet that he has a source that told him Constanza is definitely reclassifying to 2025 and that Syracuse is the front runner. Now, here's the deal. I don't want to be the guy that ruins the fun, okay? I don't want to ruin the fun. And I get it. I just told you guys, you can dream. I can dream it too. I would love if he reclassified to 2025 and Syracuse paired him with Sadiq White. They get Kiyan Anthony. It would be outstanding. 2025 recruiting class would be top 5 in the country, right? It would be terrific. And once again, he officially visited this weekend. So we know that there is some sort of interest there. But I've been looking around trying to find confirmation if this is true or not. Not that I have seen anything that would prove it to be false, but I have also not seen it being confirmed by any huge major recruiting service or analyst. So maybe Nick Thomas is right. Maybe Constanza is officially going to reclassify to 2025, and maybe Syracuse should be considered the front runner. But I cannot verify that for certain, but I did see it, so I did want to address it, all right? Again, what do we know? We know there was an official visit. We know that there is mutual interest. We know he is thinking about reclassifying. We just don't know if he is reclassifying for certain and whether or not Syracuse is actually a front runner for Constanza or not. It would be great to land him, but we don't know if they are a front runner for him just yet. Hopefully they are, though. So that's Alex Constanza, currently a 2026 five-star forward who officially visited Syracuse over the weekend. That's your first update for you recruiting-wise. But there's another one for you. Asher Elson. Finally, we got some news regarding Asher Elson, a 6'10", 190-pound power forward from Brooklyn, New York. He is currently a 2025 24/7 Sports Composite 4-star recruit. And the big headline, this is coming from an article from On3's Jamie Shaw, who's been on the podcast before. Asher Elson told him that he is expected to take a visit to Syracuse later this month, which is obviously great. We love when recruits are taking the time to visit Syracuse. He also talked about reclassifying to 2026. So you got Constanza thinking about going to 2025, and you got Asher Elson thinking about going to 2026. Could be a nice little flip over there. Now, Asher Elson's main offers, again, according to himself, Syracuse, Illinois, Georgia Tech, who he also said he might visit in October, Creighton, and St. John's. It's tough competition. Not going to take any of those schools lightly by any means, but not exactly murderer's row like it was for a Caden Lewis, who was a 4-star guard that had every blue blood offering and also had Syracuse, Michigan, and Tennessee. That's murderer's row right there. Syracuse, Illinois, Georgia Tech, Creighton, St. John's. All right. Definitely good offers. Nothing to sneeze at. Tough competition. NIL money. You get all that. But again, it's not Duke. It's not North Carolina. It's not Kentucky. I like our chances more, I guess. Maybe that's fair, right? Anyways, I think that does it for Constanza and Asher Elson. Once again, a little Syracuse basketball recruiting update for you guys. Mostly good news, right? Constanza in Syracuse, maybe. Asher Elson thinking about visiting Syracuse in October, which has 11 more days left in this month. So that would be great. So good news for Syracuse basketball recruiting overall.